The Jacob's Ladder test pattern will show you how an HDR system or monitor handles very bright and very dark values. Jacob's Ladder shows 9 vertical stair steps with calibrated nit steps, covering the range from 50,000 nits down to 500 micronits. The darker 7 stair steps each cover a decade, for example, 5 to 50 nits. The brighter 2 stair steps cover 5,000 to 10,000 and 10,000 to 50,000 nits. The brighter stair steps use less area in order to reduce the average display power required. The average brightness of the entire frame is about 190 nits. The pattern is rendered as display referred. For patterns delivered in the floating point OpenEXR format, no values are clipped. But for integer formats, the brightest values, such as 50,000 nits, are clipped during render. The step sequence is roughly logarithmic, with certain values like 5, 10, and 18 deviating slightly from a strict log sequence. At the left and right of each step, there is a shallow gradient or ramp. At the left, the ramp matches the main step at the top and becomes darker moving down. At the right, the ramp matches at the bottom and rises moving up. The amount of ramp change is the average change from step to step. The non-static version has a moving step rising in each stair step. It darkens each step in turn by 1 average step change. The static version has no labeling, which makes it easier to measure levels directly off a display with a spot meter. Observe how many steps are visibly distinct and not merged into their brighter neighbors. This is a rough indication of dynamic range of a display or a system, although it does not indicate the absolute brightness limit of a display, since a display may tone map the values down to fit its capabilities. Use a spot meter to measure the actual brightness of individual steps to see how closely they match the intended brightness values. Observe the ramps at the left and right for quantization banding. You can also look for the moving step and note which is the darkest step that you can see changing. This will give you an idea of the lower end of the dynamic range. This may be affected by lighting conditions in the room. For more information about the Color Space and Monitor Test Pattern Suite, please contact us at the email address below.